your life is about to change if you allow it. There will be 2 times in your sales career, before today and after today. What is that? BT and AAT. If you embrace what we're going to talk about here over the next little bit. If you don't, fine. I'm okay with that too. I'm just telling you there is potential for you to change your life, change your income, blow up your entire career in a good way today, right now. I want you to think about before you drove a car, okay? What your life was like before you had wheels, before you had your license, before you were able to get around. You were pretty limited in what you thought, right? Maybe as far as you could take the bus, as far as you could take the bike. Your life totally changed when you got a car. Why am I telling you this? I'm not trying to reminisce about being a teenager and having a car. What I am telling you is you guys could have that big of a degree of change in your sales career, in your life right now. And what I mean by that, and I'm putting this graphic up on the board, I'll make you a hat. I'll send it to you if you do this. 2x90. What the hell is 2x90? I believe that if you guys change your mindset, we work through some stuff together right now, I think you can double your sales within 90 days. We're not attempting space travel here, okay? The same way you went from, dang, when I just had a bike, I could get around town. Suddenly, once you had a car and you did things differently, you could go to different towns. Your entire life changed, right? You got to get out of the bicycle mindset and into the car mindset, right? And there's a different mindset that we can have that will allow us to double our sales in 90 days. So I'm going to ask you guys for some ideas. First question I have for you, is it possible to double your sales in 90 days? Is it humanly possible? Yes or no? I'm seeing a lot. Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's possible. All right, good. We're in the right room. Okay. If anybody's like, no, it's not possible, maybe so. We can talk through that. Maybe you need to get a different job then, but I think it's possible. We're not talking about 20x your sales over the next 3 months. Okay. We're talking about 2x, doubling. Okay. So for you guys, what would we need to do if we were going to double our sales in the next 90 days? And what would we need to stop doing? I've got a few ideas. By the way, I'll send you guys some cash for sales coaching. I got my sword, pen, Sharpie, and my shield. I want to write down some of your ideas. What would we need to do if we were going to double our sales in the next 90 days? And what would we need to stop doing? Does anyone have any ideas? I've got some ideas. I want you guys to interject your ideas as we go. I'd love to start with one of your ideas. If you were to double your sales in 90 days, what would you either need to start doing or what would you need to stop doing?
Create more opportunities. Many calls.
I like that. I think it was Neil said twice as many calls. Somebody else.
Create more opportunities.
Oh, Neil, you said create more opportunities. So we got to make twice as many calls. Is the number? Okay, I don't want to depress you. If we're going to double our sales over the next 90 days, we don't need to make twice as many calls. Okay, I've thought about this. Okay,
You just need to make them more effective.
we got to make them more effective. And honestly, if we're being true to ourselves, if we just did twice as many calls, and Kay had a great point there. Let's say we didn't change our skillfulness, the number would actually be 6x. If you want to double your sales in 90 days, we'd have to make 6 times more calls. Here's why. I lay in bed at night thinking about this stuff in sales so you guys don't have to. It's not a linear growth. Like if I make 10 calls a day, I'll make $100,000 a year. So naturally, if I make 20 calls a day, I'll make $200,000. It doesn't work linear because here's the thing. If you're making a smaller amount of calls, you tend to cherry pick and you tend to only work the hottest stuff. So I want to be realistic, like yes, and that is one of the things that I'm going to list is we make more calls. I believe that in order for us to be safe, we should make 6 times more calls, okay? But to Kay's point, we're also going to make them more skillful. We're going to make them more effective. Who else has something that you want to throw up there in terms of what we should be doing, what we should stop doing? We'll throw it up. That was the first one. Boom, it's my first slide. Talk to 6 times more people. And the why on 6 times more people.
Actually,
Go ahead, Gary.
following a specified sales process instead of just shooting in different directions.
100%, right? Do you have any jobs I can bid on? Hey, how's it going? Following a process. We're going to talk about that a lot on this Easton University session. What does that process look like? Okay, here's one of the things that, and I think that was Gary that just talked about. Okay, we're going to change what we say in our calls and our emails. If we want to double, if we want to start making twice as much money, if we want to start closing twice as much sales, we've all agreed it's possible. We can do it in 90 days. One of the key things, to Kay's point, we're going to change what we say on our calls. We're going to change what we say in our emails. We are not going to double our income by just pitching twice as many people. Okay, we're probably not even going to double our income if we pitch 6 times more people. We're going to double our income if we ditch the pitch, right? And we have things like, hey, I've got an idea I wanted to get your opinion on. Hey, there is something that every architect's having to deal with. Nobody's talking about it. I wanted to make sure you were aware of it, right? There's something that every mid-size employer here in the Mid-Atlantic is having to deal with. Nobody's talking about it. We're gonna slow down our process in the beginning, and that's gonna catapult our results in the end. Okay? Another thing that I want us to go, Nick, you had a quick question. Go ahead, Nick.
No, it's not a question. It was. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. It's not really a question. It was just another idea to do the whole double in 90 days.
Fire away.
I mean, a lot of what I did was research on my competitors to know where they were falling short.
Yep.
Asking my prospects about street value.
Yep.
At the end of my pitch versus the just everyday known what our company's valuable for and what we think it's valuable for. So I said street value, and then again, kind of, it's already been brought up a couple times, but tapping into that sustainable pipeline that maybe you haven't touched in a while. Yeah.
And we'll talk about the sustainable pipeline, but Nick, you bring up something awesome. Clearly, you've been on your eastonuniversity.com portal, street value. What the hell is street value? It's like what's going on in the streets, right? That's why I called it street value. And please, no disrespect to your marketing departments. They have street value wrong most of the time, right? Marketing leads with all this really high level stuff. Your street value could be something as simple as you're easier to work with because of one particular report. And when it gets down to the street level, when the people that are using your product, your solution or service, right? To Nick's point, how are we figuring out down at the street level, what is really making us different? When we can figure out that kind of stuff and we can run, and again, no disrespect to marketing. We're not marketing. Marketing is a one-way street. It's a one-way traffic. Marketing has a very different job than us. Right? Marketing's job is to portray the company, our solutions, our services in the best possible light across the board. But to Nick's point, if I can figure out what's going on with a particular thing down in the streets, at the street level, and figure out that project administrators are getting their butts kicked on this one little thing and bring that up, hey, I just want to make sure you're aware of this. How are you dealing with it? Man, that's a real problem. When you say it's a real problem, how many projects have gone delayed? All of them. Right? When you're able to talk down at the street level, you're able to get their ideas, get their opinions without having to pitch, right? If we just lean on what marketing said, you're literally regurgitating case studies and buzzwords and mission statements. Nothing wrong with those, but that's not going to get you to double your sales in 90 days, right? I have to have a conversation with Dave Gast and walk away from that going, man, that Dave Gast guy gets it. He understands. I think I want to move my business over to him. Great point there, Nick. Okay, here's another one you guys might not like. You might not like this, but I'm keeping it real. Okay, there's been numerous times where I've doubled my performance within 90 days, and I had to have some very real conversations with myself. Okay, in order to do that, I had to stop going to work. I had to stop going to work just to work. And I changed going to work with a process. This is counterintuitive, and you will not be a popular person at your company when you do this. When I say stop going to work, does anyone want to unmute themselves and take a guess at what I mean by that?
Stop just going through the motions in a sense.
Going through the motions. Like if we did an Edwards Deming's time study on our work when we're going to work, you would fall over. You would cry if you saw how much of your energy, attention, effort was devoted to just the bull junk minutia of going to work, trying to look busy, right? Like if we were trying to look busy in the NFL, okay, we wouldn't last very long because we'd just be running around on the field like a chicken with their head cut off. We're going to have a process. A process is when I show up, I know these are the groups of people that I want to call in the morning because I know these people are going to answer in the morning. Okay, I'm gonna do my brand new lead prospecting from 8 to 9 a.m. because I know people are most likely to answer their phone from 8 to 9 a.m. So I'm making those calls saying, hey Lisa, Matt Easton over here at Easton University, you and I are connected on LinkedIn. Hey, there is something that every single SEO company's having to deal with. Nobody's talking about it. Wanted to make sure you were aware of it. You can give me a call on my mobile, 720-660-3202. I know the ability for Lisa to answer that call or call me back is the highest likelihood is from 8 to 9. So I'm making those calls then. Okay? Then I'm strategizing everything. Everything is mapped out. Everything is part of a process. I'm not getting emotional on deals. I'm not going down and talking to everybody in the office going, hey, I think I've got a great one here. I'm keeping to myself. I'm keeping my head down. Okay? I'm following a process. I'm trusting my process. Makes sense? And this is a hard pill for us to swallow. But if we're going to literally double our performance in 90 days, it's not going to be popular what we're doing with our peers for two reasons. Number one, we're going to have a lot less time to mess around with what's going on with this and do you think the merger is going to happen? We're not going to be doing any of that. We're going to be heads down in our process. Right? Like if we're a defensive back at this team, we're going to focus on being a defensive back. We're going to focus on getting interceptions. We're going to focus on running our route perfectly. And we're going to let the front office determine whether or not the logos are changing on the helmets. I don't give a crap about the logo. I don't give a crap about the colors. Give me a helmet, I'll put it on and I'll run my route. We're going to be focusing on our prospects. Okay? If we wanted to double, here's something to think about. If you wanted to double the amount of money you are making over the next 90 days, I would create a network of evangelists. Okay? A network of evangelists. People that were out there telling other people about what I did. People that were out there telling other people about what I did. Why? They're not going to be as skillful at it as I am, but if I can double myself, triple myself, quadruple myself, how could I do that? Who wants to unmute themselves? How could we get people talking about us to other people that might want to do business with us? What would be some ways we could do that?
Asking for a favor.
Love it. Asking for a favor. Hey, couldn't do me a small favor, could you? Right? The next time you're around somebody and they need, their team is struggling, they're spending way too much in advertising, will you let them know how easy it was to get signed up for my sales coaching, how great the results have been, and how happy you are with the live events? Right? Asking for a favor. That was a great one. Who else? How could we create a network of evangelists? People talking about what we're doing.
I would say showing your worth to people, like helping them resolve problems efficiently, not talking at them, actively listening so you're dependable to them.
1,000%.
So building that rapport up.
1,000%. You guys are going to hate this one. Probably not going to do it. It's made me not a ton of money, at least $1 million. Hated it every step of the way. Still hate it today. But I do it when I can. Maybe there's an industry association or a trade conference or some group of people that are in the orbit of people you want to work with that meets for breakfast at this particular thing or this networking meeting. Okay? You're not going there and pitching them. You're going there, to your point, and helping them, offering value. Here's something that I wanted to give you guys a heads up. Last thing I wanted to do during this keynote at the breakfast here is turn this into a sales pitch. Here are 3 things that project managers should be aware of. As somebody that's in the office working with project managers time and time again, here are 3 things, right? That's how you get a network of evangelists. That's how people remember Dave or Kay or Neil, right? Let's go out there and let's help people in mass. Along those same lines, maybe we need to start making some helpful content, right? Maybe, and if you guys are like, that's stupid, it never works. I did some stuff on TikTok, I got 4 views. Yeah, me too. Me too. Before I had 500,000 followers, I had 0 followers, okay? Here's what I would recommend though. Don't bleed in your personal life. And I'm not asking you to post on your personal Instagram. Maybe make a separate Instagram, okay? Maybe don't treat yourself so harsh. Maybe don't be thinking this post isn't great. It is great. You guys have great information. Maybe post one. What's it gonna hurt? If you wanna double your sales in 90 days, maybe post something that's helpful on LinkedIn with video. Hey, my name's Matt Easton. Here's something that we're seeing companies that are overpaying on their advertising right now. Here's one reason that they're getting really difficult and their people are having trouble scheduling appointments. Let me walk you through a better way to schedule an appointment, right? Putting out that good content is a great way to double your sales within 90 days. You don't know when it's going to pay off, but it will. It can't hurt. Let me talk to you about something you need to stop doing if you're going to double your sales in 90 days. This kills us all, but you guys got to stop doing this. If you want to double your sales in 90 days, stop focusing on what's closing. The more we need money, the more we're worried about losing our job, the more we're trying to make President's Club, the more we focus on what's closing and the less we perform. It's really weird. If you look at people that make club, because I work with people like you that make club. I help people make club. I lay in bed at night thinking about this stuff. Most people that have made President's Club, that are finished the year 147% of plan, they do that the first quarter and the second quarter of the year. And their performance actually drops down. Now you may be saying to yourself, Matt, that's bull junk. Because I come in Q4 and I close some stuff and I do some deals and I get... No, all you're doing is blowing yourself up when you do that. When you focus on what's closing at the end of the year, you end up doing a bunch of discounts that you never needed to do. You end up blowing up 8 out of those 10 deals because when they end up still delaying until Q1 of the next year. And now you've already shot that bullet, bang, bang. You've given them a bunch of discounts. And now you're in this weird position where you've got to either claw that back or get it approved. It's just no way to live. If you want to double your sales in 90 days, forget what's closing. Don't care. Could care less. I'm focused about putting shots on goal. Oh, did one go in? I hear a horn. Everybody's cheering. Great. That's to be expected. I'm focused on the process. The process is, hey Dave, does it make sense for you to sign the agreement so we can get your team access to blankety blank and blah 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 and you can take the top line revenue of the business from 17 million to 23 million, right? Not waiting around and going, hey Dave, I'm just checking in and following up, okay? Here's another thing that you could start doing, and I learned that you guys can thank Elon Musk for this. I never had an electric car before. I bought the damn Cybertruck. It's pretty freaking cool. I just got to tell you, if you have a chance to get a Cybertruck, get one. It was life-changing. One of the things that I had some difficulty with when I first started driving it, only for about an hour, is this whole idea of regenerative braking. Why the hell am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I got a sales epiphany. That Cybertruck that I have, I barely touch the brake pedal. Why? Because I lay off the gas and it all of a sudden starts to brake and it puts all this power back into the battery. It regenerates. You guys should use Elon Musk's brilliance of regen and figure out how you can regen old leads, right? If you want to double your sales in 90 days, regenerate old leads. Am I saying waste a bunch of time calling a bunch of old leads? No, but figure out a way you can regen. Maybe it's a text message. Maybe it's an email. It's sitting in our pipelines. Doubling your sales in 90 days is regen. It's sitting in there right now. You have to just come up with a really skillful way to just, number one, let those people know you're still out there, right? Not sure if you remember me, but we remember you. Hey, I've got an idea. I would love to get your opinion on. Or there's something that every practice administrators having to deal with nobody's talking about. It's amazing. You guys are beating up the marketing department going, I need leads, yet there's people that you gave up on 6 months ago that didn't buy, that you have all the ammunition you need. If you're like, I'm brand new to my company, I don't have that. Even better if you're brand new. Go find marketing. Go find the VP of sales and go, hey, did anybody quit? Can I get access to anybody's old pipeline? They'll give it to you. I was notorious for that. Couple things I never had. A lot of friends where I worked and being broke. Okay, I was always rich, didn't have a lot of friends. Because if Kay quit, I was the first one that would go to my regional sales manager and be like, hey, you doing anything with those deals that are in Kay's pipeline? I don't know. I mean, they'll probably get reassigned to whoever we hire and they're like, cool. In the meantime, you mind if I call them? Can't hurt, right? Find a way to regenerate old leads, okay? Here's another one that's going to hurt your guys' feelings, all right? Let me just get through a few of these. We'll open it up to questions. This one's really going to hurt. This one hurts me. I find myself doing this. Stop having relationships. Okay, this isn't the relationship business. Stop having relationship-style conversations. How's it going, Becky? Hey, just checking in. How are you guys doing? How are the kids doing? Is Becky Jr. still in field hockey? You can't do that, guys. If you want to double your sales in 90 days, that's something you got to knock off right now. Why? How many friends do you have in your life? I'll tell you what the number is because I looked it up before this call. Most human beings, you know how many friends they have? Close friends? Between 3 and 5. Between 3 and 5. You have between 3 and 5 friends. Okay? If you're like, no, I don't have 100 friends. They're not your friends. Okay? Now you're lying. Most people only have between 3 and 5. So stop using a non-scalable life mechanism for something that you need to scale. If you want to double your sales, if you want to double your income in 90 days, you have to stop with the checking in. You have to stop, how's it going? You have to stop, hope your day's going great. You have to stop, man, I'd love to grab lunch with you sometime. And you have to start being NSO, next step obsessed. You have to stop delivering, hey, man, it's so great to see you guys, my dear friend. We're going to be at the conference. If you guys want to grab some drinks, that would be great. Why? I'm telling you that because I'm realistic as a coach, okay? And I've done the studies over the years. When you are that really nice person that every one of your customers is your dear friend, you can have about 25 to 30 people in your pipeline tops. That's it. You max out. 30 people, you're maxed. You are working your tail off. And you're trying when you go to a conference to find time to have a drink with every single person. You don't need to do that. Right? Be skillful. Hey, I got an idea I wanted to get your opinion on. They don't have to know you. You don't have to be best friends with them. You don't have to take people to lunch. I'm not saying stop taking people to lunch. I am saying realize the investment that you're making in that lunch. And it's not the cost of the lunch. It's your time, energy, and effort. Okay? I want to keep things laser focused. I don't want 25 to 30 deals in my pipeline. I want 250 to 300. Okay? Couple other ones. Rick, I'll jump on yours after this, but just more along those same lines. Be next step obsessed. Does it make sense to get your team on board? Does it make sense for us to process your invoices? And then ideally, so you can add the value. Does it make sense for us to start processing your invoices so you can put yourself in a position to grow the office without having to hire, another additional front office person, right? No, Dave, it doesn't. Got it. What's a good next step? Man, I'm not sure. What's a good next step for me? Right? Be next step obsessed. Rick, what you got?
Basically, this is like $1 million golden nuggets that you're giving out, really.
I'm trying.
Yeah, this is big stuff. For like a 30,000 foot view looking down on what you're talking about, how to double your sales in 90 days. Believe in yourself. Stop worrying about what other people think about you.
Yeah.
They're really not thinking about you.
No,
anyways.
they're just not.
So, laser focused, coupled with massive activity,
Yep.
which you're going over all this here. You preach on 80% prospecting, 20% following up.
100%. And the people that are most likely to go from 1x to 1.05 Those are the people that focus on follow-up. Because I can increase my sales. If I really hammer my follow-up, I'll maybe get 1 or 2 deals to close that wouldn't have closed. If I have a process and I have the right process in place, I'm not going to miss those. But what ends up happening is we overly follow up instead of prospecting, which is why we have these unstable months. July was great. August was terrible. October was okay. November was banger. Man, January, February, March, I think I'm going to get fired. Like, there's no stability because we don't focus on prospecting.
Hey, Matt, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, one thing that hasn't been mentioned is, actually delivering on a game plan, actually having a game plan going into each day, setting those goals of how many, block this time off for this, block this time off for that, and actually sticking to the plan and schedule. So I think that increases sales obviously as well.
Right? Straight out of EU, okay?
Yep.
I don't want to go into mine, but like this made me no friends in the corporate world. 0. Never got a friend from this. Got made fun of a lot, right? I remember the year was, I think it was 2000. Audi had just came out with this S4. And I had this sheet with an S4 on it. It was this blue color, which was I had it down to the color. And I'm like, dude, I'm working on this blue, this teal, whatever the color was. Teal blue Audi S4. I got laughed at up and down. You going to lunch? No, dude, I'm getting an Audi S4. I had an Audi S4. Then right after that, I was like, it's not as fast as I thought. I want a BMW M5, right? And there was other people in the office driving Civics. Nothing wrong with the Civic. My point is, I was working my plan. And to your point, Nick, if you want to jump into the realm of being a professional, the plan that your company has for you is complete garbage. It's complete garbage. They have HR departments. They don't want to get sued. You have to work your plan. Figure out what's going on in your world. Figure out what works best for you. If you are in the National Basketball Association, you're skillful and you're not just trying to collect a paycheck for 2 years and you're trying to be you're trying to be an all-star, you have your own diet. You have your own strength and conditioning coach. You're working on your shot that you need to work out of. Team practice is great, but you need to follow your plan, okay? eastonuniversity.com/goals. It's on your portal for you guys. Make your own plan. Don't be embarrassed about working your own plan. It's very helpful. Here's another one, and then Martine, I'll get to yours, and I'll get to Dave's, and I'll get to Gary's. Here's another one that this one's impossible, next to impossible. We are attempting space travel on this one, okay? Try and give me 1 day. I'm going to ask you if you want to double your income over 90 days, totally possible, and this is a pillar to you doing it. But don't just jump into 90 days because you're not going to be able to do it. Give me 1 day. Stop complaining. No complaints about anything for 90 days. If you just did that one thing, most likely you're going to double your income. You're going to be amazed at when you just stop complaining. Man, the incumbent is taking all of my business. I just hate my territory. I can't believe yet again we changed our pricing and our contracts, right? It's amazing how you can get caught up in the crap. And then once you get caught up in the crap, smell that? It smells like crap. Then you're just looking for stuff that smells like crap, right? And you're caught up in this minutia. If you just are like, dude, I don't freaking care, right? I have friends that played in National Football League. Do you think they gave a rat's ass if it was raining? Oh, it's raining for them too. We're just going to hand the ball, right? I'm going to hand the ball off to friggin' 30, right? 30, you're going to get the ball a lot today because it's freaking wet. Right? We're not going to complain. We're just going to move the rock forward. Real hard to do. Bet you guys can't make it the rest of today without doing it. If you could, you're going to find that you're going to wake up tomorrow invigorated. Martine, what you got? Yeah.
Matt, can I say something?
Yeah,
please?
go ahead. Rick, go.
Stop complaining. It's really changing your thought process on what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
All the things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for having this, being able to have this opportunity to make these calls.
I get to make these calls. Yeah. And this goes back to this, guys. This goes back to this. Okay, you're not going to be that popular if you have one of these. Congratulations. Most rich, happy people aren't all that popular. By the way, even if you were popular, we just covered how many friends do people have? 3 to 5. Those 50 people in your office, they ain't your friends. Okay? So have your own plan. To Rick's point, I'm working my plan. I get to work my plan. We've got over 100 different jobs represented on this call. Probably more than that. All of you could make twice as much as you're making right now in the next 90 days if you stopped complaining and worked your plan, right? Guess what? If you start working your plan and it doesn't work and you're not complaining, now you can make adjustments to your plan. You can go, that one video on LinkedIn, I did get some response. I wonder what would happen if I did 5 videos on LinkedIn a week. Right now you can start adjusting your plan. That's how Jeff Bezos created Amazon, right? He just worked his plan. And when people said he was crazy, he's like, I don't think so. I don't think so. We're going to buy a bunch of trucks. Right? That's what we're going to do. Work your plan, guys. Trust your plan. You have a right, okay? This is a free country. This is a free world. Your employer doesn't own you, okay? Work your comp plan. I'm giving you permission to say, hey, total comp at this job is X, 150, 300, whatever it is. Guess what? I'm giving myself a new comp plan, 600,000, right? Work your plan. And to Rick's point, you get to work a plan that's going to make you $600,000. Martine, go.
So the thing that I've been doing, and I don't know if you gave me this idea or maybe someone from one of these lives, but I've been committing to leaving a review once a week. So out of that, I got 2 auto groups just for servicing my car. I've got big auto deals out of that. Restaurants, I golf a lot, so I leave reviews after a golf round, and I get all kinds of golf courses that way.
Because
that works for me.
You found you know what you found, Martine? You found a niche to where you're creating evangelists. Why? You helped them with a review, right?
Exactly.
And now you're able to start the conversation, right? It's brilliant. We're not attempting space travel. Martine, and correct me if I'm wrong, Martine is helping these companies stabilize their energy. Sorry, Martine, cover your ears. Not the most sexiest thing to cold call in, right? So Martine could complain, he could bitch, he could moan, he could be like, this sucks, or he could get creative, right? And start leaving reviews. And then when he goes back to that dealership, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much for leaving the review. Man, my pleasure, right? I'm happy to help. I love working with you guys. Hey, in terms of your energy, something I nerd out on, it really all boils down to how are you guys dealing with that? The fact that electricity is all over the place and blah, blah, blah. Now he's having a good conversation. He just figured out an end around that nobody else at his group is doing. It's not rocket science. He's just thinking outside of the box. I love it.
Yeah, because typically it's the owner or maybe the service manager will reply to it. So then that gets the conversation going.
Boom.
So it's got me a lot of leads, a ton of leads. And then the other thing I want to say is I've committed to being next obsessed, which I think is the most important fundamental thing you can do in sales.
Vital.
And it's just, I don't waste calls. And that's just, that's how you
get you, Martine, either you or somebody else. If not, I'll do it. What's an example of a wasted call?
Well, if you end it and they say, call me back in 2 weeks, and you say, great, thanks.
Yep.
That's a wasted call.
It's open-ended.
Because you haven't set the exact time and date when you're going to give them a call if you don't hear from them first. Hey,
Kay, it's Matt over here at Easton University. Just checking in to see where you guys were at with the sales coaching membership. Hey, Matt, we're just got a lot on our plate right now. We're getting towards year end. I think probably what would be best, Matt, why don't you just call me back after the first of the year? By the way, if you guys aren't getting that, it's coming. The wave is coming, okay? I don't have that problem. I don't have to worry about my first of the year chickens coming home to roost because I say I get ahead of that. What's a good next step? Well, I don't know. Call me back after the first year. What's a good next step for me? Right? Like I said, first of the year. Totally get it. How about we do this? I'll make a note to call you back after the first of the year. And then if anything comes up over here the next couple weeks or I get any ideas that might be helpful to you, Kay, I'll reach out to you then. Fair enough? Right? Take control. Even if you are going to punt till the first of the year, make sure it's locked down on who's going to call, when they're going to call, what day they're going to call. And everything is next step obsessed. We're not having any open-ended conversations. Great point,
I
Martin.
just want to say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The quarter just ended. I won again. I had more volume, double the volume than the next person. So thank you. I've committed to your plan and it's worked out extremely well. So.
And you're on these calls. Isn't that weird? I'm not saying it's me. Guys, it's not me. Okay, I tend to believe, I'm biased. I think Easton University is the most effective sales coaching because one, it's not fluff, there's no garbage. Two, we're getting together like this in a live format, right? We're having these conversations. Here's the problem. You're not going to pick this up through osmosis. Martine is actually here. He's not watching the recording. He's participating. It's like a classic movie. Employee of the month is him every freaking month because he's just putting in the work. You guys are complaining and whining and crying. You should feel grateful that you're not in the NBA, that you're not in the NFL, that you're not in the NHL. Why? You think that that's great? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm just going to point that out as somebody who has friends that are professional athletes. It's a very dark and cold place. Why? Unless you're a great, your career's 3 years. Your body's torn up. Can't really do that at 50. You guys are all doing something that you can do in perpetuity. You can do for 20 more years. You say, well, my job's not fun. That's not that. Being an athlete, that's fun. No, it's not. No, it is not. You can make it fun. You can make your job fun right now. The first way to make your job fun, come up with your own gosh darn plan. Work your own agendas, right? You can make your job fun. Dave, what you got?
I just want to tell you that all of your little nuggets that you've given us, for example, does it make sense? Or next step, obsessed, the NSO, the process, rather than just going through the motions and doing busy work. I have absolutely 2x'd, and I'm on my way to 3x right now.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
It's so simple. I liken it to making a McDonald's hamburger.
100%.
16-year-old to do it.
100%. And guys,
you're wasting so much time otherwise.
Y'all on this call, here is somebody that's already 2x'd. I want you guys after our session today, think about what your life would be like if your paychecks were doubled. I'm telling you, we can get together and we can do this in 90 days, not in 9 years. I want to double what I'm making, right? So I got to get creative too. Okay? One of the things we're going to have to do to get creative, guys, we're going to have to put in some more work if we're going to double. Okay? Here's the one good news. And Dave, you let me know if I'm off base on this. To double, I don't think you have to do twice as much work. I think it's only about 30% more work. And this goes back to Kay's point. If we're more skillful and we're weeding out, like, by the way, a lot of us are driving NASCAR. I'm not that knowledgeable at NASCAR, but I moved to the Southeast United States. So apparently I've got to go to a NASCAR race. My 14-year-old son is like, Dad, we got to go. His hair is growing out a little. He's getting the party in the front. Business in the back, party in the front. That's what happens when you move to Florida. But if we were in a NASCAR race, guys, this would be like us trying to win a NASCAR race with a booming system, with the massaging seats, with the cooler, the dog in the back. No. To Dave's point, you're not having to go twice as fast if you rip out the stuff that's not serving you. You can always put it back in later, but we're not, guys, please, shout out to Mark, this guy I had to work with years ago. It annoyed the crap out of me because this guy thought everybody was his dear friend. Kay is my dear friend. Rob, I'm going to go see some of my friends. I'm flying out to Chicago to meet with some of my friends at XYZ Pharmacy Company. And it's like, dude, they're not your friends. What's your plan for that meeting? What are you going to talk about? What are they going to talk about? How are you going to close the deal, Mark? And Mark always had these huge pipelines and nothing ever closed. You guys, if you get down to it and take all that crap out, all those unnecessary meetings, unnecessary conversations, following up, checking in, and just start a race car around the track, you can make twice as much more money with 30% more work. You are going to have to do a little bit more work. If you're... Go ahead, Dave, go ahead.
Don't concentrate on the outcome.
Yes.
Some will, some won't.
So what?
Next, just keep the process moving.
Yeah, but then look at the process, right? And if certain things go, maybe I need to fix this, right? But there's not that many. Our machine in sales does not have that many moving parts, right? We're not like a Rolex watch movement. We got like 8 moving parts in our watch. Our emails, our voicemails, our contracts, how we're reaching out to people, how we're starting conversations, how we're negotiating, how we're closing. What was that? Like 11 moving parts? That's it. Figure out how to do all those things skillfully and then rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. It's not that hard. That's just what I wanted to talk about. I think the most important thing is people like Dave out there are doubling it. Lauren, what's going on in your world? By the way, Lauren, let's just take a stab at this, okay? And I realize there are some contractors on this call, but like, let's just let people know what you're doing. Who knows? There may be an evangelist on this call, Lauren, that knows somebody. Like, would you take a moment and just tell the Easton University group what you're doing? Maybe I'll put it out on social media. Let them know what you're doing and how people can reach out to you. Because I think you've got a dynamite business. The problem is the world doesn't know about it.
Yeah, so we do LinkedIn marketing for anybody in the industrial and commercial construction space. So a lot of times people are having issues whenever a deal becomes an RFP, right? There's a bunch of people bidding in on that one deal, and the people with the best relationship always get that deal because we're in a relationship business and construction. So what we do is help you get in front of the right people before the deal becomes an RFP or an RFQ.
100%. If you guys know anybody in construction and industrial that wants to get in deals before it's already baked who the winner is, talk to Lauren. Her fees are extremely reasonable. She's on LinkedIn, which is a great platform to do it. I think she's got lightning in a bottle. But one of the first things for her to double in 90 days is Lauren, you're going to get more comfortable. I want you to start evangelizing that message, right? And you're doing a really good job of it. Would it help if I gave you the kinds of things? You were right along the lines of how I want you to present yourself. And that's not weird LinkedIn marketing for construction and industrial. You're letting them know about the problem. Here's the problem. A lot of times people are bidding on these jobs, and what they don't realize is the job was already won a month ago, which causes the company to do what? To doubt. And doubt's not great in construction. They doubt their pricing. They doubt their model. When it turns out the whole thing was, I hate to use the term, the whole thing was rigged to begin with, right? Here's what we do. We help you get in front of those deals before it's rigged, before they've already figured out who they're going to go with, and now they're looking for a B, C, column, D, E, and F to sharpen the pencil, right? Like, that's one of the things that we can do to double our sales in 90 days, guys. Create an army of evangelists. That's not, I'm guessing that's not what you wanted to talk about. Sorry to derail you there. What was your question, comment, or concern? I believe in what you're doing.
You know, thank you, so do I. We do some good stuff.
100%.
So it was kind of in line with what you were talking about with the evangelist. So in my space, I have a lot of friends, right? I have a lot of friends in this area, a lot of people that are like, just tell me who you want to be introduced to. I'll introduce you. I love what you do. I love your idea. Like, let me put you in front of people. And the problem I'm having is I'm brand new to this, so I'm learning ways to better present what we do. What do you even say to people that are willing to write an email and send it off? I don't have like a good idea on how to tell them, here's how you can market me, here's how you can present me. I can't necessarily give them a power email because I don't know the problems of that person they're going to introduce me to.
And you don't need to. Here's where I want you to focus. As we're building an army of evangelists, I want you to focus on their favorite radio station. What is it? WIIFM. What's in it for me? Okay? And here's the what's in it for me if you want to build an army of evangelists, right? Maybe you're reaching out to CPAs. Maybe you're reaching out to marketing companies. Maybe you're reaching out to all of those people because you help construction companies win jobs. You should probably sit down, light some sage, get a yoga mat, and meditate on who are the other people that benefit if that company wins more jobs. Their recruiters, their marketing, their attorneys, their legal. And then I would reach out to them with the same message and go, hey, I wanted to reach out to you. I've got an idea that there's something going on in construction that nobody's talking about. It's affecting your guys' payroll. It's affecting your ability to grow your business with your clients. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of it. Hey, yeah, Lauren, this is Matt from, Matt's legal assistance or recruiting. Right? A lot of times with recruiters that are recruiting into the construction industry, if that company's not getting jobs, they're not building out contracts to get more welders, plumbers, and bricklayers, whatever it is. Here's something that we found that nobody's talking about. A lot of times these companies, it's not that they're not paying the best rates. It's not that they don't have great recruiters like you that they're working on. Is they're caught in this death loop, I'd like to call it, of them bidding on RFPs that weren't winnable. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of this. There's an easy way for you to get your clients out of that death loop and get them in front of these deals before the deals are already won, thus having them come to you to staff it and recruit it on the back end. Come up with 3 or 4 of those recruiters, whatever the ones that are in orbit that will benefit from that. Materials, right? Maybe there's material suppliers, the rebar company of the world. Right? I can help the people that you supply get more jobs. And if they get more jobs, they're going to sell more rebar. At that point, they don't even need to know what the customer's problem is. They're going to say, you need to talk to Lauren. Hey, you guys need more jobs. I got this friend of mine, Lauren. I'm going to call in a favor. At least talk to her. Right? Because it sounds like you guys might be in a death loop. She'll explain what that is. And then, boom, 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 boom. They're feeding you, right? That's a perfect example of how we create an army of evangelists, is what's in it for them. And if you guys took the time, which you might not be doing, to think about, like with me with sales coaching, who are all the people that I help if I can help a company sell more? All of their vendors, all of their shareholders, people on boards. By the way, I'm the best friend of people that sit on boards. Because I'm like, it really sucks being on a board. Everything's great, your first 3 board meetings, and then by board meeting number 4 or 5, it's like, hey, our initiatives aren't getting across the goal line, right? And then you're just like, God, I'm worried about losing my board seat. When you know the product's great, you know your initiative is great, you just can't figure it out, right? Hey, here's one of the things. If you guys are ever doing venture capital or you're on the board of a company, a lot of times it's as simple as the sales process is off. Happy to help. If it's any company that you're on the board for or you guys are funding, happy to step in, take a look at what they're doing and make some recommendations, whether they do business with me or not. They're a friend of yours. They're flowing me deals like crazy, right? I have venture capital is flowing me deals like crazy because I laid it out to them that, hey, if you guys put 30 mil into this company and they can't close, that's a real problem. And it makes you guys look bad on the investment when the investment was great all the time. It's just the people don't know how to close. When you can start to figure out that stuff, now you've got an army of little people that are like, I don't know, crazy jacket guy. What was his name? Matt Easton. Call the crazy jacket guy. He'll be able to help you. All right, guys. Please, I'm hoping at least one of you, Dave's going to 3X. Somebody raise your hand if you're going to at least try and double your sales within the next 90 days. Thank you. I'm here for you. I'll buy you a stinking hat. I'll go and I'll make some hats that say 2x90. I'll be honest, I'm trying to do the same thing too, right? If we all work together, I think we can do it. We're not trying to get to Mars. We're trying to get to 2x in 90 days. I think we can all do it as a group. I love you guys. You know where to find me if you need me. If you'd like to make a testimonial or you need one from me, I'm happy. Let's work together to grow our prospective businesses. My mobile. What
section is that sheet under Matt?
Great question. I think it's in goal setting. You mean my goal sheet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in goal setting in the portal. Also, if you just go eastonuniversity.com/goals, it's in there.
Okay.
You have to make it on your own, though. You have to make your own little vision board. You have to make your own goals, but the template's in there. And I can help you with yours. If you want to text a picture of yours and send it to me, I'm sure it's great, but I can point out some areas, if you want to change it and stuff. My mobile, 720-660-3202. I love you guys. Let's double our income in 90 days. I'm not sure if it's for you, but if you work in sales and you absolutely positively have to double or triple the amount of money you're making in order to truly enjoy your life, click the link here. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University. It's the most effective sales coaching in the world. Click the link here. Check it out. You're going to see we'll give you access to an on-demand learning portal that's going to give you video coaching with me on everything you need to know to double or triple your income, or even more. Everything from prospecting to closing to handling objections and complaints to building your personal network and self-confidence. But it doesn't stop there. Click the link here. You're going to see that when you get a membership to Easton University, you're also going to have the ability to do live coaching with me twice a week. You can ask me any questions. We can work through anything you're struggling with. I will be there with you every step of the way to help you double your income in sales right now. Click the link now. You're going to see we've helped thousands of people just like you, and we have the video testimonials from them to prove it. Easton University is more than a learning portal. It's more than live coaching with me. It's your future, and you and your future are worth it. Click the link now. I'll see you at Easton University.